You see, most guys hit their 30s and they start to panic about dating. They think that they're past their prime, that women only want younger guys, or that their best years are behind them. But here's the actual truth. Your 30s can be the best decade of your life when it comes to attracting women, if you know how to play the game in the right way. Now, I personally have seen this firsthand. I've coached hundreds of guys in their 30s, and I want to break down the best way to attract more women in your 30s so that you can start taking action right now. So by the end of this video, you'll see exactly how your 30s can actually be perhaps one of the greatest advantages. Now, the first thing I'm going to discuss is actually reframing your mind to understand that your 30s is your advantage. You see, women and men are totally different. A woman's peak sexual market value is going to be between the ages of like 19 to like 23, whereas us as men at 19 to 23, nobody wanted us. It was hard. Maybe the access was easier because we were in certain environments in which, you know, we can go to college and easily meet women. But for the most part, we all know that women actually want men who are older than them, right? So I'm not always saying that the 20-year-old is going to go after the 35-year-old. That's not always the case. But more so that 35-year-old, actually, if he positions himself right, if he's built himself over the past 10, 15 years, he can have more of an advantage versus that same 21-year-old guy who's trying to attract the 19-year-old woman. I've seen it firsthand. And especially once you get into higher circles, living in Miami, I see it all the time. Guys in their 30s, even 40s sometimes, dating the 20s. That's because us as men, our value in terms of our sexual market value is really at a peak between our early to mid 30s. This is the best combination of our looks, our career and financial stability, our status, our social life and whatnot. And so if you are a single guy in your 30s, this is an amazing time to actually start dating and attracting younger women who you used to look at maybe in your early 20s or mid 20s and which you never thought you could possibly get. But now's the time, because if you've done everything right, your SMV should be aligned with what you actually want. So yes, that's the first thing. Just reframe your 30s as like the prime and pivotal time, especially if you want to have kids too. If I wanted to have kids, I think early to mid 30s will be absolutely the best time, because you actually don't want to wait till you're in your 40s because sperm quality does degrade. So as a guy in your 30s, you don't want to choose the first woman who gives you any sort of attention. You actually want to be very selective, because not only this time frame in which you can attract higher quality women, but this woman will likely be the mother of your children. This woman will likely be there for the long haul. Now, like I said, I've worked with plenty of guys in their 30s. I've seen this firsthand plenty of times. And what they all implement is something what I call the Romeo effect. Now, the Romeo effect has been battle tested for the past 6 years, and it's actually my plug and play system for guys in their 30s and 40s to flip the dating game and actually have more leverage, especially online. I created a free presentation going over exactly how this works in the link down below, so be sure to check that out. Now, let's get into some actual practical tips you can start implementing right now as a guy in your 30s to actually attract more women. So when you're in your 30s, one disadvantage is that a lot of people get lazy. They get in their careers, they get stagnant, they start getting weight. And if we look at, you know, them 10 years ago or the man 10 years ago, they look like a totally different person. Sure, they might have more money, more financial stability, a better career, a better network, but physically you're still not there. So perhaps your biggest advantage as a guy in your 30s is to continually improve your lifestyle, but also your image. So refining your style, making sure that you are growing, making sure that you actually are presenting yourself like the guy in which you almost look like you're in your mid 20s. So if you're 33 to 36 right now, somebody shouldn't look at you and say, oh, that guy's in his 30s. No, they should almost question, how old is this guy? This guy looks so good. I thought he was 28, 27. It's not only how you groom yourself, how you take care of yourself with skincare and all that stuff, which is very, very important, but also how you dress, how you carry yourself. You see, I feel like age is literally just a mindset. You know, I'm approaching my 30s. I'm 29 right now, so I'm approaching my 30s here soon. And to be honest, I feel just as good. I look just like as good, if not even better, than I did when I was 24. And that's because I actually pay attention. Mentally, I'm not allowing myself to age. So we all know a man who dresses well, who also carries himself with that confidence through dressing well, and also who maintains his health, you know, be it through TRT, which actually don't recommend if you're in your 30s because it will age you. That's something you should probably dive into more so in your mid 40s or late 40s. Be it peptides, be it cardio, fitness, whatever, you're just overall gonna set yourself apart from any other of the 30s out there. And that's why with leveraging dating apps too, in your 30s on dating apps is actually easier, because the guys who you're in competition with are the young guys in their 20s who have no sort of value to showcase whatsoever, or the guys in their 30s who are out of shape, overweight, don't know how to take pictures, don't know how to present themselves, don't have any communication skills whatsoever. And so you're essentially already leveraging yourself to be in that top 10% just because everybody else in their 30s is just subpar far. Now, another thing I will say is that in your 30s, especially when it comes to attracting women, you know, your maturity, your leadership, all that stuff is going to work towards your favor, but also expanding your social proof and showing more of your status signals. So when I say social proof, this means who you're around and what your lifestyle looks like. Effectively, the best way to show that is through Instagram. And that's another thing too, is that a lot of guys in their 30s don't really have the mindset of using and leveraging Instagram, because most of you guys are millennials. Maybe the other one, I forgot the name, but most of you guys are millennials. And so you come from a slightly different background. You're the guys who had the Razr flip phone, who maybe had the T-Mobile Sidekick. I come from that era too, so I completely understand. But a lot of guys in their 30s just really don't know how to leverage, you know, social media in the right way. And so if you were to actually integrate an online dating strategy through leveraging Instagram, once again, this is how you can easily separate yourself apart, because now the woman can go into your life, your Instagram, she can see your social value, she can see the lifestyle you live, she can see the value that you've been building over the past decade. And not a lot of people can say that. You know, the 20-year-old guy, the 22-year-old guy, who I'm gonna keep making comparisons to, because that effectively is your competition. If we're talking about attracting younger women, those guys, they have nothing to show. They have no value to provide, at least not yet. They're still in that building phase. Versus you can actually take the time to go out there, craft a dope photo shoot, go to nice restaurants, showcase your value. And that's why I love working with the guys in their 30s and 40s, is because they have enough of the resources and values in which we can craft something like actually amazing, and there's no question behind it. Maybe you have the nice car that you're driving right now that you could showcase and leverage as a part of the online strategy, right? And so just something to keep in mind and remember is that your social proof, in terms of how you showcase, that matters. Your status signaling, your health and fitness, all of these things are going to make a huge difference in terms of your competitive edge. Now, also in your 30s, we're going to be completely done with chasing. We're not chasing women whatsoever. What we're going to do is more so build a life, build an aesthetic in which you have women coming to you. No longer chasing. Those days are far gone behind us. We're not code approaching 150 women a day in the street. We're not double, triple, quadruple messaging. We're not doing any of that. We're setting up ourselves by showcasing our value once again to allow women to come into our funnel. Now, this is also what the Romeo effect helps build. You know, your Instagram, your dating apps, but also building an online dating funnel in which we set all of these triggers in the most optimal way, in which you'll have now leads or women who are interested in you messaging you first. You know, having high interest, setting up the date. So what I'm saying overall is that once we have those things in place, what we really need to craft is a full-blown abundance mindset. No more scarcity, no more worrying about if she's gonna text back, no more worrying about, you know, if she's gonna call us back. Like, we literally do not care. And the reason is, it's because we're gonna operate in so much volume. We're gonna have so many high interest women that, you know, who cares if, you know, she doesn't text back after the first date? Who cares? Like, literally, who cares? You're gonna have a consistent flow of matches coming in. Now, if you're in your 30s and, you know, you don't mind attracting older women too, let's say like 28 to 33, then you're in an even better position now, because that's gonna make the volume higher and higher even more. Because especially those women, they're in the mindset in which they definitely want something serious. And so if you're a guy like that too in your 30s, then it's gonna be a piece of cake, man. Piece of cake. Now, like I said, your 30s are gonna be a gigantic advantage. You have so much competitive edge as long as you maintain your fitness, work on your style, present yourself in the right way, have that abundance mindset, and do this consistently over the course of time. I promise you, your dating life's gonna change for the better. Now, once again, I created a free presentation for you called the Romeo Effect, where I show you exactly how we can actually implement all these things we just talked about in this video, done for you. Click the link down below, and hopefully we can speak soon. See you guys in the next video.